What's up, Stokers of Stoke Nation? This is Chad Kroeger coming into the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. And take your shoes off. I'm here with my compadre, Jean-Thomas. What up?
Boom clap, Stokers.
Scoot doo, blabbity blue, scoop dee. Oh yeah!
All right, I'm gonna go let the boys in.
Do you mind if I nicotine vape before the pod?
Yeah, but you would like just blow it out the balcony?
Yeah, for sure.
Which is actually new merch I have. Blow it out the balcony! So you're gonna be here?
Right here?
Yep. Sweet. And as we always say on Take Your Shoes Off, make sure you keep it on the brown.
How these look?
Great. I kind of sit with my feet under my butt. Is that okay?
What do you mean? Like Indian style?
Yeah.
You can't say that. Like
That's why I didn't say it, because I know we're filming.
Thank you. Oh, you didn't only say it because we're filming? I think it's important to have a conversation about this, and it's not that you want to hide it, but you want to learn from it.
How do you mean?
Well, have a conversation. What should it be called?
That crisscross applesauce?
Yeah, see?
Can I sit? It's just such a mouthful. Can I sit crisscross
Only
applesauce?
because the way I have this stuff framed, you both have to sit the same way the whole time.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Are you big on
They just got Glassman bopped. You can sit however you want.
Are you big on compositions for the shots and stuff? Like you have a good eye for that?
Yeah. Gross. Hope no girls are watching. Psych. Hope they are watching.
That's
me too.
Yeah,
I bet you they are.
that's awesome.
Hey,
If you're
ladies.
a girl, comment in the description that you're a girl and you're watching, and also tell me how big your boobs are. But they're pretty big.
Are you a right boob guy or a left boob guy?
I like, it depends on it depends. I mean, it's like saying, what's my favorite movie?
Midnight Run.
Funny. Is that, it's a good movie. It's funny, but it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't make me laugh out loud.
Yeah.
People have preferences, left and right.
Yeah, kind of like, are you in the mood for do you want to laugh? Do you want to cry?
In terms of boobs?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You don't? You don't care?
no. But I guess I'm more of an ass man, so.
Pun intended when
yeah.
you said butt.
I'm a right cheek, left cheek guy, I guess you could say.
Goblin hand. Oh yeah? What do you
Yeah.
like better?
Right cheek, typically.
I'm going to check the levels. This makes people feel a little vulnerable. But when we can edit this out if you don't want it, but it's the only way I could actually test the dynamic range. Could you please it doesn't have to be long. Could you sing something, anything? But could you try it as hard as you possibly can?
Well, I'm a genie in a bottle. Gotta rub me the right way.
Are your eyes closed because you were a little nervous? Could you open your eyes, look to camera?
Yeah. I'm a genie in a bottle. You gotta rub me the right way.
Good. Here you go.
You're all I ever wanted. Yeah.
Good. I'll try mine.
So,
That was good. You can keep going.
no, I'm good.
All right. Hello. Wait. Baby, lock them doors and turn the lights down low. Whoa. Get the music on the soft and slow.
Whoa.
Baby, we ain't got nowhere to go.
That was really high level intonation.
I hope you understand. Thank you. This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Good thing, too, because we talk about boners a whole bunch in this episode. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code TYSO at checkout. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code TYSO, to receive your first month of boners free. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/TYSO. That's BetterHelp.com/TYSO. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and online chat sessions.
Who was that?
Josh Turner.
Oh.
Do you know Josh Turner?
Josh Groban?
Not Josh Groban, but Josh Groban is TYSO favorite here.
He's awesome.
Yeah. Do you know Josh?
I'm familiar with his music, not personally.
How come I can't hear you that well?
I don't know. Am I not talking loud
Yeah,
enough?
bring it closer.
How's that?
Keep going.
It can't go any closer.
Yeah, I guess you just sing louder than you talk. I should have assumed that. Everyone probably does.
I was going to say, I don't think I'm rare in that
Let's see if we can get Josh Groban on the phone, dude.
No way.
Throw your headphones on.
Fucking hell, this is cool. Well, these are nice headphones.
Oh yeah, but not as nice as these and those. Those are my third favorite.
Oh, those are Beats.
I don't
Pro?
know any better.
I like the ones that we're wearing because you could wear them for hours and they don't hurt. Those have better bass, but you start to feel them on your ears.
Yeah, I don't feel this on my ear.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
You guys could switch halfway.
I'm
Do
free
you call
floating.
him? Do you have a nickname? Did you call him like Grobes or anything like that? That makes sense.
He must be in the bathroom or something.
Right.
Maybe he'll call back.
Well, you could leave a voicemail.
I don't like to leave voicemails on the pod because I don't know if the person I'm calling is comfortable with their voicemail box being public. And if I bleep that whole thing, it's like, what's the point?
Right. I didn't even think about that.
I think about that stuff all the time about like, how do you know if somebody's going to be okay with something? That's like, I don't censor myself much when it comes to my own things, unless it's something I know I don't want to talk about. But I do get hyper sensitive and uncomfortable. Like talking about, like, there are some girls that I've dated in the past and fucked. But like now that they know that, I don't feel ever comfortable saying the girls' names.
Well, is it just their first name or do you say their last name?
I don't
too?
even like saying their first name because someone could, if they look up something.
Right. I think it's really nice of you.
Yeah, but I don't know where that matters because I feel this way on stage sometimes because it's like, this is still my business, but it's also this person's business. And where that Venn diagram goes.
Well, is it even additive to have their name? Can't you still tell the story but keep them anonymous?
Yes, but sometimes the story, there are details of the story that aren't their name that are relevant to the story that people could deduce maybe who that person is.
Right.
So like I can't say, like if we're doing this thing and I was doing this thing and during this filming of this movie or of whatever the hell, like I feel like, but it's very relevant because like one of the co-stars is a story about that person. But if they know,
What if you change the name?
it's not the name, it's the details.
I have that too. I self-censor a lot too. I try to break free from that a little bit because I worry too much about how people perceive things too.
I don't want to. I do want to. I want to break that down a little bit because there's two things and they both matter. How people perceive things, yes, but I'm talking about other people's business and I don't know what's public and what's private.
Right. Okay.
Do you feel that ever? Like, do you ever talk about your family and it's like, well, I shouldn't tell my mom's stuff, but it involves me?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, I think I err on the side of caution with my family too much.
I've been talking about stuff with my mom on stage and I have to like ask her all the time. I'm really uncomfortable with it.
I never asked my family, but I guess I haven't really gone too deep into it.
Why do you think you haven't gone too deep? Isn't that like the name of your thing?
Yeah, but I go deep.
Going deep?
I mean, I go deep into like, politics, culture.
Politics, Trump, Biden,
Yeah.
AOC.
AOC.
Oh, no tax,
Yeah,
tax.
you know me.
What?
Yeah, tax the rich.
Tax the rich.
Well, you rich, I'ma tax you, bitch.
That really even joking. That did give me hands up. Just that. Keep going.
Yeah, no, I lost the flow. And I didn't mean to call her a bitch or a hoe. I was
Start
just
over.
going in the motion like I was wearing some lotion. I was putting on the magic potion.
I rewound when I shouldn't have. I thought because you wanted another lead up.
Oh, God.
Yeah. The Squad.
John Kerry,
John Kerry, Al Gore,
Clinton,
Kasich,
Kasich,
Kasich. I know
Herman
who that is.
Cain, rest
Herman
in
Cain.
peace.
Rest in peace.
Ben Carson,
Rick Perry.
the singer.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, everyone sings, right?
I'm a genie in a bottle. You gotta rub me the right way.
When Alec Baldwin was writing his memoir, he asked Philip Roth for advice, and Philip Roth told him, "Spare no one."
You know, that's the same thing that my bowling coach told me to do when he said just to try to get strikes the whole time. I didn't quite understand what he meant though. Like, what do you mean spare no? You mean don't get spares, try to get strikes? He was so fucking hot.
Nice.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Was it because of the bowling shirt and the outfit, or was he hot in anything?
I don't know. I only saw him in the bowling stuff, but he just gave off hot. He bowled like
He was elegant.
Yeah.
You know what else it is? It's when they're in that power position, it makes them hotter.
That's what I learned. We learned in our HR classes. Whenever I'm doing like a television show, they give which is constantly, they give this, like the studio has its own thing. Like at Warner Brothers, you all get together, but it's the producers, the creators, the actors, the writers, the PAs, the
Grips.
maybe. Maybe the grips have their own thing because grips are kind of like,
Union guys.
union guys have their own fucking language. It's like, hey, where are the sandbags? You ever work with a union guy?
Yeah, once or twice. Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, different language. Yeah, I know what they're saying.
Could you give any examples?
They're like, hey, why don't you move the tee box?
Right.
And I was like, are we golfing right now?
Right.
And they're like, no, that's the name for the truck.
Right. So
And-
they asked you to move the truck?
Yeah,
And what were you doing on this production at the time?
I was acting.
Then why would they ask you to move the truck?
I think they were just testing my manhood,
Right.
and I kind of,
Right.
I stalled it.
You stalled it at the truck or like you
I stalled the truck
conversation? Fuck.
in the conversation because I thought we were talking about golf.
I think it's such a great movement going on. And please correct me if I'm wrong or tell me if you disagree. That's going on in the world right now where like we're redefining what a man is.
Yeah, I think it's necessary. I sometimes get conflicted about it. Like growing up, I grew up in Orange County where there was a very stereotypical idea of what
Shout
a
out to
man
Orange
was.
County. We'll put their Instagram handle up here.
And it was so hyper masculine and traditional that I felt myself rebelling against that and trying to pursue like more sensitivity in myself. But now living in Los Angeles where it's kind of the opposite, I find myself kind of missing that.
Could you give me one of the examples? Also, put Los Angeles Instagram. Will you give me an example of what one of those stereotypical manly Orange County guys would be like?
I think probably being more reserved with like your feelings, even the positive ones like affection or joy or especially when dealing with like the opposite sex.
The opposite sex.
And like kind of withholding like your vulnerability.
Right.
And then I think I've gone so far the other way that now I kind
Sorry, are
of
we boring you?
No, I'm thinking.
Okay.
it was kind of boring.
No, I didn't think so. You just.
No, I was thinking about me as a man and how I approach masculinity. So.
I'd like to hear that in 1 sec, but I want to.
Yeah.
Please, could you give an example, like if you were doing a stand-up bit and you were playing one of these guys, what would it be like?
Be like in my Orange County or LA.
Orange County.
So it's like my girlfriend asked me if I was excited to go see The Northman tonight. And I was like, you want me to be excited to go see a movie? It's a movie. I see movies all the time. I guess it's cool, but I'm not excited.
Right. Could I add on to that? Mm-hmm. My girlfriend asked me if I was excited to go see The Northman tonight. I'm like, excited? Excited to see a bunch of guys with their shirts off? I don't know. I mean, the movie's probably going to be cool, but I'd rather kick back a couple of kegs, get my dick sucked. All right?
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
He sounds like a cool guy.
Also, if I had a dog, give me a big dog. None of these little bitch dogs.
Yeah, like 120 pound like bull mastiff.
Fuck yeah.
With a big dick. And he can get his dick sucked while I'm getting my dick sucked.
Also,
Oh,
I'm not going
nice.
to neuter that dog because I just want to fucking, not that I'm gay, because I'll never be gay, but I want to suck that fucking dog's balls.
Yeah, I
Okay?
want my dog to have big heifer nuts.
Yeah.
I would never hurt him that way.
Yeah, cool. Well, we'll get back to the Los Angeles version and then the version that you're trying to meet in the middle. But let's hear your thoughts on the guy.
Fuck, man. I don't know. I mean, I looked at my brothers. My brother's like basically like Mark Wahlberg in Shooter.
Just rewatch Shooter.
You just rewatch it?
I watch it all the time. Slow is steady, steady is fast.
Dude, it's so good.
Put up a meme.
Yeah. Well, my brother has the
Now
same.
put up a picture of a tit, but blur the nipple.
My brother has the same mannerisms.
Real quick. Now
Yes.
put up a picture of a dick, blur the balls, but keep the dick. Blur the dick head and the balls, but keep the shaft.
Dude,
Go ahead.
I just love picturing that right now.
Yeah, same.
Just a fat bell end. Is that what we're going for? Sick.
So your brother's like Wahlberg and Shooter.
Yeah. I mean, you say like, "Hey, Mark, how's it going?" He's like, "Good." That's the conversation.
Oh, his name is also Mark?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, honestly, I think he modeled his life after Mark Wahlberg and Shooter.
How old is your brother?
32,
Not possible. When did Shooter come out? 2007?
2007.
No way.
Yeah.
It's not
dude,
that
well,
old, is it? 2012, maybe 2007.
Okay, so he's 19 when it came out.
Well, let's see. You know he was?
Yeah.
When
88,
did Shooter come out?
2007.
Are you sure it's 2007? Because that was my guess.
Yeah, I'd say 90% positive.
I'll say 09.
I also want to show, we'll cut back to show that I said it before he did.
It came out, what, in 2007?
2007. Yeah.
Yeah, 2007. Looks like I was right and you copied me.
Yeah.
I have a thing where, like, you tell me a name of a movie, I could tell you the year it came out. It's not always right, but
I'm
I could
pretty
just
good
say
at
a
that.
name, say a year.
Yeah.
Scent of a Woman.
True. It had to have come out and I had to see it in the theaters. But I don't know. Scent of a Woman. 1992.
92.
92.
Oh, yeah, it's got to be 90, right? Edit out. When I said 88, keep, and you can keep this in. You put this over it. 1992. But, you know, but so people know that I didn't really get it right.
Same director as Midnight Run.
Oh, yeah, you love Midnight Run. The monologue at the end of Scent of the Woman is one of my favorite. That and the end of 8 Mile are like one of the ones where I don't have to watch the whole movie. I could just put that on.
They're amazing.
Oh, my gosh.
I take a flamethrower to this place.
I'll take a flamethrower out of this place. You know what? Do you guys know Adam Ray?
Sure.
Yeah.
He loves doing Pacino. I want to see if let's play a little game. Is this Adam Ray or Al Pacino? Adam Ray or Al Pacino? Maybe he's in the bathroom or something.
Could leave him a voicemail.
Okay. No, I do FaceTime audio, so there is no voicemail there.
Why are all these guys on your phone in the bathroom?
Because otherwise they would have answered. Because do you remember back when like we were younger, at least the two of us, when you would get insecure about shit that didn't make sense? Like if somebody didn't answer the phone, your friends would be like, "Oh, I guess they think you're fucking dumb." You know, I thought he was your friend. It's like, he's probably in the, maybe he's in the shower or something.
Mm-hmm. That happened with my dad a lot, actually.
How so?
Because my dad was really inquisitive about like who my friends were and stuff, and he's like, "Are you dating anyone?" And I would try to call them, and they'd never pick up.
But were you dating people?
No.
Right. So you were doing that because you thought that's what a man was.
Mm-hmm.
It's poison.
I'm the youngest, so that's just natural insecurity.
How many older brothers do you have?
2.
I have an older brother. I was never that way.
Really?
No.
Well, what's your older brother like?
He was cool, popular, played baseball. Girls would come over the house, like you would have house parties and stuff, but like not house parties where it's like keggers where my parents aren't home. House parties where it's like everyone was cool and stuff. My parents were home; they were just upstairs. Although once I did find a fold up paper and inside was white powder and it was and then I found out it was cocaine. I thought that was fucking insane. It's high school.
Cocaine's scary the first time you see it. It really intimidates you.
Have you ever done cocaine? Mm-hmm. Do you like it?
I like Adderall more, but I don't do either anymore.
Because of you're redefining what it's like to be a man?
I just lost my privileges.
What do you mean?
I was doing too much of it, so I had to retire.
Are you sober now?
From those things, yes.
But you still eat pussy and drink beer?
For sure.
Good. Otherwise, get the fuck out of here. Right, bud?
Yeah. I like that you said eating pussy, too, because that's like adding a new dimension to this new man we're talking about. Because a lot of traditional dudes would have said, getting their knob slob.
Yeah, like in The Sopranos where they weren't allowed to eat pussy.
Yeah, when they find out that Junior's been doing it,
Yeah.
and he smashes a pie in her face.
Now, I'll tell you something.
The loose-lipped lady who blabbed.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you, there's a lot of things that are manly and a lot of things that aren't manly. Let me tell you what's near the top of the list of what's not manly. Abusing a woman physically.
Agreed.
I think that's so gross. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's gross. Yeah.
Good. People in Orange County, do they think it's gross or they do that stuff?
No, they think it's gross.
Good, because it's kind of like as time goes on, the definition of a man kind of changes, like the status quo. But then there's also that standard deviation of like, what's it like for real progressive versus traditional? Like traditional still changes, but it's kind of like the bottom of the spectrum.
Right.
Right.
It's like where a progressive man was 50 years ago or something like that.
I'm sorry. What's that?
It seemed like you understood. What I mean is that traditional man now is probably like where a progressive man would have been 50 years ago. It's like how
Yes.
people said Barack Obama was like
gay.
to the right of Nixon. He's gay.
If he were, or when he is,
I'm cool with it.
not only am I cool with it, I just think I really, really, really want to have a gay president soon.
That'd be cool.
Other than Trump.
What up?
What's up? I do, man.
Who is Trump gay with? Don Jr.?
None of my business. None of yours. And we need to take that stuff out of politics.
Nice, dude.
Keep the bedroom out.
I've been saying that for it's like a couple hours before you guys got here.
When do you think in the culture that eating pussy became manly?
When women, started vocalizing their sexual freedom, and when women collectively were able to have a voice that says that we like to come too, where then it became public that women like coming. And listen, I know this is tacky, but we love women, right? And if a woman wants to come,
She has the right to.
I've talked about this on the podcast before, but I never kissed a girl ever until I was 17. In fact, just came up on, this is not going to come out for a few weeks at least, but it just came up on my 20-year anniversary of my first kiss.
Let's go.
Nice.
Yeah, it was right after I did a stand-up show, Rick Glassman and Friends. We'll cut to a clip.
3, 2, 1. Somebody show me their fucking pin! Right, Tito, set it up silly. Set it up silly. Rick Glassman! Turn the cameras off for a second. I don't want this getting out of the room. Yeah. Ooh, that's the movie. You ever heard of Perry who's filming this? We'll put his Instagram handle up here. Funny stuff, dude. What's up, Tevin, man? You want to come in or what? Oh, you don't? Hey, you scared of girls or drugs? Which one is it?
Hey man, hey, it's all good, man. Come on in. It's okay. Oh, my boy's cool, man. He's cool.
All right, my bad. Have a seat, dude. Hey, Tevin.
It's in my cul-de-sac.
You ever seen this many forks? No. It's cool. It's cool. You're cool, man.
Yeah, he's cool, man. He's cool.
Well, guys, tonight was fucking rock solid. You know, I was thinking about
You're the best, man.
You're the best. You're the king, Glassman.
Sorry,
You're the king.
Cool.
I was thinking of going down to the corner store, picking up a bottle of Jaeger, buying some bombs, energy drinks. Come on over this way, sweetheart.
Get it right.
And I thought to myself, hey, why stop at Jaeger bombs when we can all just fucking do cocaine?
Yeah. All right.
Glassman.
And we're back.
And that was the night before my first kiss. I was 17 and I was pretty late to kiss. So I was too scared to do it because I didn't know if I'm supposed to put top lip on top lip and bottom lip or if you stagger lips. So I bought a book on how to kiss, but what I actually bought was Kim Cattrall's book on how to eat snatch. So I learned from a very young, a regular age. I learned how to eat snatch before I learned how to kiss.
Nice.
I think that's normal, especially for comedians.
Yeah.
They kind of have uneven paths
Right.
through their sexual maturity.
It's kind of like how I got on a TV show before I had an agent.
Is that true?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I think I heard the story about your audition. You went in without an agent, and
How would you have heard that story?
I think it's a legendary story.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, but what I have found as I've gotten older is that there's no difference between eating snatch and kissing a woman when you break it down. Because really all you're doing is being present, listening to their body, trusting your primal instincts, and just making sure you both feel connected and good.
I love what you're saying. I totally agree.
Do you have any tricks like in American Pie that they do cursive and
I
the
still
alphabet?
do that.
Do you always do the alphabet or do you say stuff
I'll still do the alphabet once in a while.
with your tongue? Mm-hmm. Do you do capital A, lowercase a, or do you go all across one letter and is a capital?
I do
or
all
lowercase?
capitals.
You have good handwriting
With my tongue,
and on paper and pen.
it's like fair to midland.
Do you write in capitals?
I don't think I write often. I mostly just type in my phone.
But when you do write.
Yeah, I write mostly in capitals.
Right. What about you? Do you write in capitals?
I'm a calligraphist.
A handwriting.
Yeah.
So when you're eating snatch, do you...
It's calligraphy.
Lowercase.
Cursive.
Question, do you do the alphabet? Do you go back and cross the T and dot the I after you do Z?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do you know where it was?
It's dependent upon the snatch, I guess.
Right. Ain't that the truth? Well, we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
If you're looking for just the right flooring, you need choices. And at Marshall Carpet One, you'll certainly find them.
I'm glad we're talking about this.
Yeah. I think it's important for people who are younger, who listen to this stuff, who are becoming sexually active, to understand that, like, it's normal to be nervous. It's normal to go soft. It's normal to get hard too soon. It's normal to not be able to come. It's normal to be able to come too soon. It's normal if your cum comes out really fast and hard and knocks her off her fucking feet. Mm-hmm. It's normal if your cum drips out a little bit and she's like, this is all you have? I thought you were a man. All of that stuff happens all of the time. Steve Martin once said, it's not about being great. It's about being good consistently. So just be present.
And be so good they can't say no. He said that too.
I'm going to take a flamethrower to this black hell.
Bod men, bod nothing.
Yeah. It's good.
Charlie.
Man.
Well, I think too, going back to, discussing men and stuff, I think basically what you were talking about is I don't think people, I think that we assume that the opposite sex is going to be much more judgmental.
But you know what they
how
say?
We are in the sack.
When you assume something, it sucks when you assume.
Right.
So that's kind of a red flag. Once you start assuming something, step back, stop creating a story, ask questions.
Well, that's like be present so you don't make assumptions about how they're going to perceive your, prowess.
Yeah. Have you ever been with, are you both straight?
Mm-hmm.
Have you, oh, sweet. Have you ever been with a woman where you had difficulty performing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
More often than not, dude.
What type of difficulty?
Well, I just get in my head a little bit.
Also, I don't know if this episode's sponsored by Blue Chew, but I would like to move some things around.
Right.
To make sure it is.
Just drink a lot of water if you're going to eat it.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, you get some headaches.
But how does water stop the headache?
Yeah, just hydration. I think a lot of
the headache comes from the blood flow. It's not dehydration.
I just think I have an ER doctor friend, and he just says most problems are enhanced because of dehydration.
Now, that I could get behind. Yeah, that I could get behind.
But to the anxiety, I just I get in my head about it. I think I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and so sometimes my dude just gets a little nervous that we're not going to live up to our own expectations.
Now, what are your expectations?
I'm going to blow her socks off.
Right.
Go for a while.
But first, you'll take her shoes off?
For sure. Because I like to suck toes. So,
do you have a toe thing?
I don't have a thing, but I do like them. But it's equal to everything else.
Oh, so you like toes the same as you like elbows?
Exactly. But then if you touch someone's feet, they're like, "Do you have a foot thing?" And you're like, "Well, no, I got an everything thing." But your foot's part of that.
Right. But do you touch toes more than you touch elbows?
More than elbows, but less than clavicle.
Yeah, because you're right. That's by the tits. Do you touch shins, elbows? Mid back, behind the knee, or toes the most?
Is it the first four in aggregate verse?
No, all out of those 5 things. I know the answer. It's toes. So there is something with you with feet. Now, there's a difference between I'm not grossed out by feet.
I just don't want to be boxed in.
Yeah. Do you think that this fear of being boxed in gets in the way of being present and adds to the distractions of being there to allow the door to be open for this fear of this expectation that could at best be met and then that's it?
Exactly.
So what do you do about that?
I think you just have to, like Chad was saying, reorient yourself.
You can't say that anymore. You have to say Asian American.
Oh, sorry. You got to Asian American yourself around the other person.
Which is interesting because I still see them called Oriental rugs. But you're not supposed to, it's not referred to the Orient anymore. And these are things that I don't want to be scared to bring up. Like we talked earlier, and I'm
nervous.
I'm not sure if it came in, but we'll cut to it if it wasn't. You were wondering if you could sit crisscross because like, and it used to be called Indian style, and we can't call it that anymore. But I don't know if that's true. Is it because you can't refer to something as Indian? What if it is Indian style? I'm not saying it is. I don't know. I don't want to be scared to have the conversation so I can learn. Now, we aren't the people to learn necessarily unless you know. Do you know
the name
of the Indian style if that's something they don't like?
I would assume not.
And assumption makes you soft.
Right.
But like, we have to be able to have these conversations, you know?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think it is tough that we get so nervous around these like subjects, even when it's not our intention to be hurtful or malicious. You know, if you're coming from a place of genuine curiosity, it would be nice to have more of a open dance floor around it.
But nerves, that's the thing. When we get nervous about something, it's because our body. Are you familiar with the term flipping a lid?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's like if somebody's like kind of manic, like they flip their lid.
I thought it was like blow a lid. Same thing.
Sure. Now, I don't know the exact science behind the parts of the brain, but I believe that your hippocampus, right? So if is here, right? And then you have this part of the brain that is, I don't know the name of it, but it's basically responsible for your flight, your fight, or your freeze mentality, right? It's very instinctual, it's very primal, and when you get scared, you do one of these things. I need to survive is the only way to do it: to fight, to flight, or to freeze. For example, brown bear, black bear. I know one of them is flight. I don't remember which one. I think brown bear, you run, and black bear, you freeze.
I don't know.
Well, put it up. But this is when you're here, you're not using your actual memories, your experiences, your logic. You're just it's survival mode. So what happens is when you're in that survival mode, this part kind of goes literally in your brain, goes up, and you're just activated on this, and that's where your lid is flipped.
And that's not the real you. That's like you just with adrenaline. That's you as like just a primal creature trying to survive.
It's the instinctual, not using any of your life experiences, survival mode you. Right. So when you're in that moment, I don't know what to do, clock that. You might not be, it's like you're drunk. You might not be able to get back, but if you clock that and then you do whatever your meditative moments are, exercise, the double breaths,
the 2 in breath,
2 in, 1 out.
Huberman.
So when you see that you're triggered and you could recognize that, you at least know that you're creating this narrative. You're creating a story. You're creating things to survive, right? And then you know that's not necessarily real. Check yourself. Hold on. Stop building the story. So when we're in these moments, whether we're talking about what type of sitting position or if I want to munch this girl's cunt, but she's not wet, so it's making me soft, right? Check in. Have a conversation. Don't be afraid to ask the questions. Hey, baby, I noticed that your twat's dry. What gets you off?
Is it because I said Oriental?
But here's the thing. You're right there. You're creating a narrative. It might be, but don't. But, Steve Martin also says, never let the audience know you're bombing. You acknowledge something if that's what the room is, but you're just thinking these things. She just might not be a wet lady. Or maybe she doesn't feel connected. Maybe she's upset because she was sitting crisscross applesauce. That's the thing that people don't clock. When we are insecure, we project that that's what everyone else thinks. But listen, everyone's got their own things. That's why connection is so important. Eye contact. Get that oxytocin. Say, hey, listen, sometimes this happens. It's not me, it's you. No, I'm just kidding. It's you. Or it's me. Whatever. You know what I mean?
No, and if you can do that, if you can connect with that person in that moment, that provides like an intimacy that could even supersede what you were originally intending to do.
Pun intended with the supersede?
No, but I love it.
I feel that when people say pun intended, they didn't usually mean it. If they just realize it after the fact.
They're trying to play catch up.
That's why right before I say pun, I'm going to say I'm about to pun. First base. You know what I mean? Are you guys okay? Are you having a good time?
Yeah, I'm just trying to follow. I'm trying to stay present. That's what you're saying.
I love having this conversation about going soft or the woman not climaxing. I've been with girls who only climax 2 or 3 times. And it's like you want to have them climax at least 5 times.
So are you saying in that moment, don't make assumptions, don't create a narrative, make eye contact, be present, and say, "Hey, baby, why are you not coming?"
No, because now you're putting it on her.
Right.
So
what can I do to make you come?
Well, yes.
Okay.
Also, coming is this goal that men think is the destination.
Right.
It's not about coming. Right? It's like as an actor, when the scene calls for you to cry and you're focused on getting watery eyes, you're not feeling the emotions.
Right.
If your eyes water when you cry, so be it, but have the thoughts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about her coming, it's about her feeling safe, and that's first. Connected and enjoying herself, right? So and also to have these thoughts of like these projections, I shouldn't be having these. We can't tell ourselves what we can and cannot think. That's too demanding. Have the thoughts, you're going to have them, but just check yourself and know that I'm creating a narrative. I'm nervous. I'm allowed to be. I'm supposed to be. But let me not run away and pretend I'm not and dry my hands. Let me just connect.
Sit in it.
Right. Because I've had experiences where I've asked, like, did you come?
Mm-hmm.
You know, during the act.
Right.
And that brings them out of it. And I've learned to sort of stay in the moment. And if I'm nervous about that, then just to enhance the connection, stay present, and try and, create a deeper bond in the moment.
Why do you ask if they come? What do you think is the feeling inside that needs that answer?
I think it's the male sort of necessity to, have some sort of achievement.
Right, like driving a truck.
Exactly, yeah.
It's all made up.
Yeah.
It's all made up. Maya Angelou says, I don't remember what people say. I don't remember what people do. I only remember if I came. Right? And put up the quote, but the real one. And like...
I do like that brass tacks from her.
Uh-huh.
Because I agree with you, it's not all about busting, but I do like it when a woman's like, it is all about busting, and they don't give me a choice. I gotta deliver.
How so?
I don't know. There's something about
a girl says you better make me come.
I like that.
Yeah, but is that dirty talk or is that a real contingency?
Probably more the former.
Right.
But it's kind of funny if it's the latter.
Yeah, it is.
It's like you better make me
come,
I
like that.
Or you're out.
Yeah,
I do like the
that.
stakes
I do like
of
that too.
It's like, all right, it's on, motherfucker.
Yeah. So when the girl says, I did or didn't come, when you ask her, either way she's taken out, or is she still in it if she did come?
You might want to silence that.
I kept it on just in case it's Groban.
Oh, okay, copy that.
Because I wanted you guys to meet.
I'm really excited to talk to him.
I think either way they get taken out a little bit.
Oh no. How long's it been off?
Now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. I feel like this whole podcast with these two gentlemen. Hi.
Dude.
BetterHelp's a lot of people listening and watching. But listening and watching isn't enough because you also need to speak. Life could be overwhelming. You could be burned out. You're not sure who to speak to. You're not sure who wants to listen. And you want a third party to talk to. If you know me, you know I'm a big therapy advocate. I've been in therapy for a long time. And it helps connect patterns. It helps you recognize when you're being triggered. Why is this bothering me? And the steps needed to take to fix the things that can be fixed and better accept the things that maybe are the way they are. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. If you want to do therapy, but it feels too daunting, have a therapist be matched to you. You'll try it out from home. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/TYSO. That's BETTERHELP.com/TYSO. If you've been watching this episode, then you know boners are not only important, they're necessary. And sometimes maybe you're a little in your head, maybe you're a little nervous, maybe you just don't have the goods. Good news for you. Blue Chew is here to help. Blue Chew is a unique online service that offers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA, and they prepare and ship direct, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy. Blue Chew's licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredients and strength for your prescription, because sometimes we all need a little help. Ooh, look at this, to get a little hard. And here's a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code TYSO at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's bluechew.com, promo code TYSO, to receive your first month free. Guys, if you're audio only, what are you doing? Get a clue. Get on YouTube. But if you're watching, listen, the camera switches weren't perfect because I messed up.
Let the limitations be the style.
I think the style, more than the limitation itself, is the idea of self-acceptance. and that we're all limited at times. And if I look at this and I get so upset with myself, how are we going to move forward? I made a mistake.
It's okay.
And I'm sorry that I didn't let you guys, from when this comes out, shine in the best ways, because you're both very good looking guys. I asked if you were straight. I mean, we could see it from the room cam, but you gave muscles. There it is again.
Wow.
Also, yeah, I'm really upset.
It's okay, man. Dude, for real, it's all good.
I like that angle too.
Me too, but it's not the same. And we get to go close, and we have individual shots and split screens. And when you guys were singing, I don't remember if we were able to cut to that.
Right.
That was in the first 8, so we're solid on that.
Yeah.
I'm a genie in a bottle.
Yeah, but I think the first 8 includes
The walk-in?
the walk-in.
Oh, man. As long as we got the walk-in, that's all we need.
But I think you checked right before you sat down and really started to engage.
Well, we won't know until we sit down and edit. And I don't want to. This is what, by the way, this is a great analogy of getting nervous when you're with a girl, and instead of being, you're like, well, no, I should have, and then you can't be there.
Yeah, you're like apologizing right now for being flaccid, when in reality, we're okay with you being flaccid.
I never apologize for being flaccid anymore. In fact, I tell them beforehand.
I'm going to be flaccid?
No, I don't know if I'm going to. I mean, usually the cameras work, but I'm just saying it happens.
Right.
So I will sometimes say, especially if it's a girl that I'm not, when I'm in a relationship, this really doesn't happen. I think it's like the first 3 or so times, because you want
little jitters.
You want them to really you want to have a good set.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody has seen you perform on stage a whole bunch of times, whatever. But if it's somebody for the first time, you want to show them your best version, right?
Right.
So when you're new with somebody, especially if sometimes for a first date, I like to go get STD checks. Mm-hmm. But if we don't do that, I wear a condom. And I'll say, listen, sometimes condoms are, I can't stay hard in a condom. I might have to take it off, and then we'll have to go again.
That's smart, because I have that same issue with condoms,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like I should address it up front, so that people, because that always happens. Then I address it, when it happens, and
Also,
they're like, no, I don't think that's the case. I think it's because of me. I'm like, no, it's the condom.
And do you address it when it happens, or do you address it a few moments after? Because it happens first, and you're like, ugh. And then you got to muster up the confidence to say it.
Yeah, then I sort of try to force myself. I'm like, I try to force the blood back into my, my dink.
Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, finally when I give up, I'm like, it's not you, it's the condom.
Right.
But I think by that point, they don't believe me.
I think it's very important, sexual or any other type of relationship you have with somebody, to kind of, when you know yourself and you know your things, mm-hmm. I think it's for both parties. And it's the same way as establishing boundaries, but also to kind of define the assumed expectations, because everybody builds their own story. So when you go in someplace and say, hey, when you guys come in, I have OCD. I'm going to ask you to take off your shoes and wash your hands. You know that before you get here, at least if whoever forwarded that email. Not that it's a big deal, but it's one thing. So it's like, when you walk in, it's like, yeah, this is what I expected, as opposed to what the fuck is going on here?
Have you always been that way, or was there a point in your life where you sort of realized that you need to sort of be upfront about these things?
I came into some self-awareness 5 years ago, where I started to really clock these what seemed to be individual obstacles and uncomforts, and then I started to kind of connect these patterns where I feel this similar way in all these different situations. It's a me thing, and once I better understood where I feel most safe, and it made it easier to recognize where that differed from other people. And I think it's important to both communicate my wants and expectations with the other person, but also to give them a safe space. Is there something also please let me know, are there things, if you ever feel I'm being too hyper or too loud or too weird and you don't know what's going on, give me the benefit of the doubt. I'm just being playful. Just tell me, say, Rick, this is too much for me.
Do you like it when people tell you it's too much for you? Because you like the communication, or you like that you took them there?
No. I don't like that I was too much for someone. I like that I like when somebody feels safe enough to tell me, because their reality, because I always want people to feel safe and laugh and and blah, blah, blah. But what we do, it's so subjective, especially when you take big chances. Sometimes people aren't going to receive it that way. Mm-hmm. And the disconnect isn't that they don't receive it the same way, as much as them feeling this way, you feeling this way, and neither of you know that. It's why it's so easy to get a laugh after you bomb when you acknowledge it, because now we're finally on the same page.
Right.
But if somebody's bombing and they don't know it,
it's scary to the audience.
Yeah, but all you need to do, like I've said this on the podcast before, but I remember I went out with this girl once years ago. We went into Target and I was in bit mode. And she goes, "You're yelling." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And then I brought it down. And it was just like, tell me.
I love doing public bits, like fake fights at Target and stuff like that, where you're like, "Look, I know you said he was just a friend. I don't believe you." And then just saying, like, if people will look. And
do you like that? Is there a line for you? Because do you see those videos sometimes where like people are like throwing stuff over the thing or like being like pranking people?
I don't want to be too disruptive with it.
Right,
It typically sits at verbal, and it also depends on who my partner is that I'm playing off
By
of.
partner, is someone like that? Is it usually female? Mm-hmm. Are you guys in relationships? Mm-hmm. Are you?
No.
Do you want to? I want to check something one more time. So, do you want to use this opportunity now that they finally get to see your face? To I actually, this is something I've been wanting to do for a while. I've had some people submit, but I haven't done them yet. I want to do dating profiles, where yes, it's funny and silly because of the medium, but it's also like it's real, So, hi, I'm such and such, and also when I have people submit them, I'm wanting them to be in suits. We don't have to do that for you now, but we'll go tight on you. We'll push in a little bit. You could be silly, but do a reel. Let's see if we could find somebody, and you'll email me at takeyourshoesoffpodcast@gmail.com if you're interested, with a video, of course, because we care what you look like. If we'll put it up and see if we can do a matchmake.
Cool. My name's JT Parr. I'm 5'9" in boots. I like movies like 70s political thrillers, 80s rom-coms, CrossFit workouts, and fun, spontaneous adventures. And I love kicking it with my dog.
Can I do a endorsement since I'm in a relationship?
Yeah. Please.
Let me just make sure here. See, now this one's off.
We can do a minute of room tone at the end.
I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that. It's my girlfriend. I didn't realize that the window was open from when you were vaping earlier, and we're just talking about licking snatch and eating dongs, and my neighbor's just on his balcony just doing work.
I'm sure he's loving it.
His life.
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot of going soft on this episode, and I mean that metaphorically. Just things not working, but...
Can I do an endorsement?
Of course.
Hey, I'm Chad. I'm JT's buddy. I would say JT's a great person to date. He has an extensive vocabulary. He's a good hang. He's a sensitive soul, an artistic, beautiful soul, and he's going to expand your knowledge and your dome more than you could ever anticipate. And he's very soulful on the dance floor. He's going to make your hips move more than he ever thought you would. And he's a good...
How so? How does he make their hips move more than they would have thought?
Well, he feels the beat. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people, especially in today's society, when we're so connected, we're so connected to social media and stuff. It's right.
I would say that actually makes us disconnected.
Yeah, exactly. So we're disconnected from the beat. We're connected to the internet, but we're disconnected from the beat. And JT is able to, sort of unplug from the matrix.
What about at Blue Bottle where there's no Wi-Fi?
I can get it going there.
Yeah.
You got to get closer to this.
I can get it going at Blue Bottle.
You could bring it closer to you.
He just uses
it can't
data.
Go any closer.
Why not?
It'll be touching my face.
No, you go back, but you were leaning back. I'm saying when you when you lean back and stuff, think of it like when you're on stage, like when you're moving around.
I'll try and...
If you had headphones on, you would know. And there's going to be some comments that are going to be like, we didn't notice, nobody knows. Yeah, because it was mixed brilliantly, but it happens. That's great where you are.
But I don't... Cool.
But what?
No, that's it.
Tell me.
That's it.
All right.
I just don't want to be limited in my range or expression, and I don't want to be too mindful of the mic and...
But you have to be mindful of the mic. That's just part of the craft.
Of course. I mean, I'm a podcast aficionado.
Sure.
I know you got to be... There's nothing worse than, when someone's eating or far away from the mic, but I think we're solid.
Right now. But when you were laying back like this and this was here, I don't like it. Also, when you're so close to somebody else and it's picking up other people's things.
Look, it's your barbecue and it tastes good, so I'll stay close.
I appreciate it, but listen, there's a lot of flaws on this podcast so far, production-wise.
That is funny. You are being very particular about this, but
I'm particular about all of it. I just didn't notice it all.
Loosey-goosey on the other ones.
I didn't mean to be loosey-goosey. I just fucking it happened and I didn't hear it.
But we all have our things.
That and staying hydrated, I could get behind.
For sure.
So,
well, how do you think the softness of this podcast, production wise, pertains to our idea of masculinity today?
Well, are we talking? I mean, the idea of the cameras went off, or the sex conversation.
Well, they seem like they like parallel each other in some ways.
Yeah.
Like there's some metaphor that could be pulled out of it.
Yeah, which is things happen and they don't go as planned. And it's not that you shouldn't plan things, because you should, but you shouldn't live off of the idea that your expectations, your coming is the goal.
Like in Collateral, when Tom Cruise says you have to adapt, improvise.
Right.
You know, what does he say? Like feng shui or something?
Feng shui.
Feng shui.
I didn't rewatch that recently, but I have seen it within the past year again.
Great movie.
Good movie.
Great.
Okay. I won't argue on that. My take is it's a good movie.
Right. Is that relative to other Michael Mann movies or just relative to all film?
Relative to, I don't go it depends on the director or the writer, but 18 times out of 20, so I guess 9 out of 10, 4.5 out of 5.
90%.
I go by who's leading the movie.
By the star.
And or stars. Like Jamie Foxx, Tom Cruise.
Killer.
Yeah, well, you know, spoiler alert, Tom Cruise is. But bigger spoiler alert, kind of so is Jamie Foxx.
Oh.
And at the end, he's able to kill him because he's able to adapt and improvise. Oh, spoiler
Yeah, you have to
alert.
say that first.
Spoiler alert. He's
Yeah.
able to kill him at the end because he's able to adapt and improvise.
Right.
Well, Tom Cruise's character, Vincent, is not.
When I put up spoiler alert, if we could have a lower third that says spoiler alert, and we'll keep the bar across until he's done saying that.
Sorry.
Don't apologize to me. Say sorry to him.
That's I was looking at the camera.
No, him.
I have a question for you.
Mark it.
When you, because you mentioned your audition story, you went in without an agent, you booked the part.
I didn't mention that story. I just said
Yes, you did. You
brought it
referenced
up.
it.
I said that I got a TV show before an agent. I didn't tell you the story.
Right.
It's a
But you-
story that we all know, though, because it's a very
It's very
famous story.
legendary. Yeah. What was your mindset going? Because I think that sort of pertains to the staying present thing. What was your mindset going into that?
Funny, and this is awesome.
That's
that I get to do this.
yeah. So do you think going into things with the sort of idea of I'm going to have fun, that mindset is the way to have the best outcome possible?
I don't want to define it as best. Definitely good and positive, but it's also, it's like I was saying about how we can't really control our feelings necessarily, only better understand why we're having them. So you can't always just, I'm going to have fun.
Right.
Sometimes, I mean, even in podcasting, sometimes I'm just not in the mood. Like for whatever reason today, a lot of podcasts before they start, like, I don't want to do it. Not that I don't want to have a
Always.
conversation with a person. You too?
Every time.
Because it is work, right? Especially the setup of stuff. But like once I start, I'm usually almost always enjoying it, right? But beforehand, like I was indifferent before you guys got here. For whatever reason, once we started, I'm calmer now. But I felt myself, it was a very silly, fun, and that's great. I would love to get there whenever I want, but I can't.
Right.
Is it the obligation that you have to then be silly, or the obligation to be like fun or conversational? Because those are my baselines. But when I feel the obligation to do it, I start
Right.
to want to rebel against that.
Yeah, I can understand that. I have, by doing this podcast as long as I have now, I have gotten really, I better understand how that obligation is fake. Like,
That's
if you're
interesting.
silly, show up silly. Show up, right? You just show up.
And it'll come out.
Whatever is supposed to come out in that moment. I mean, by design, this podcast is capturing a conversation in a moment in time. This isn't a scripted thing. I'm not playing a particular character where there's a direction and an emotion that needs to be there, right? So if you guys come over now, and if you guys came over in 4 hours from now, it would be a completely different podcast, right? Instead of trying to control what that is, just show up. That being said, there are certain things I want to be. That's why I'm always doing bits and snapping, and sometimes I interrupt too much or try and force something that sometimes it's really funny once we do it in post, and sometimes I got in the way of the momentum. It's not a perfect science, but what I can do is just show up and like be here, you know? But sometimes you can't be just having a good, I mean, sometimes you're nervous. It's a big audition. It matters. You don't have a job. It all just comes down to being present, boys.
Yeah.
everything in life, I think.
I found that too. I mean, I think in a lot of situations, especially with what we do, when you, I like preparing, and I think it's important to prepare. But when you focus so much on the outcome, to where you're like, I'm gonna like
make you come.
Exactly, I'm gonna make you come no matter what, and you're gonna squirt all over me. That's the worst.
But that's pretty dependent on the woman's anatomy, not your technique. I mean, there are like I've made tons of women squirt, but that's because they're
squirters.
Yeah. Well, there's squirters. They can't squirt, and then there's that pocket in between where I could still get them to squirt.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't want to say that the pursuit.
Shout out to the G spot, by the way. We'll put the Instagram handle up here.
Absolutely. I don't think that the pursuit of like the prowess or the technique where you could make everyone squirt is wrong. I think it's good to want to be able to get to that place in all aspects of life, but I think you got to be able to detach from it when it doesn't happen and be like, well, look, it's kind of a futile endeavor, but I'm still going to try to always, make it happen.
Yeah, well, two things I'm thinking of. One is my Netflix film, A Futile and Stupid Gesture. We'll put up a thumbnail. But also, I get what you're saying. However, why fill the space with that? Getting them all to squirt. Why fill the space with that? Because you ever hooking up with a girl, right? You're doing your thing. You're like, you're making out, right? You're in the car. Yeah. You're at the AMC Burbank. You guys went downstairs, third floor of the parking garage. It's 1 a.m. now. There's nobody down there.
That's fine.
Yeah. She starts sucking your dick.
Oh, let's go.
Now you're like, I don't want to, like.
You got to eat her out.
Well, you don't have to do anything. And that's what I'm saying. Enjoy what's happening. But also there's like public, exposure. Like, I feel like that stuff, I feel like the law needs to recognize the difference between gross guys jerking off on a bus and cool actors getting their dick sucked in a naughty.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, one's good for everybody.
Yeah.
One is setting the tempo for everybody else. Like, it's kind of aspirational. Like, you see a cool actor getting, bobbed on, you're like, I want to get there. And then it puts your life into a more focused trajectory.
And if you don't want to look, don't look in the window. It's not like we're up against the thing and it's tinted a little. Like you have to come.
No, I'm not. Yeah, the guy's not staring at me with a boner, being like, ah.
Right.
Yeah, he's enjoying himself. He's in the moment.
But what I'm getting at is, you getting your dick sucked, and then you're like, I don't know. Like, and also she said she's okay, but she's in a weird position, and you just go like, all right,
maybe she likes being in a weird position.
Maybe she does, but I am thinking to myself, this was great, but like, maybe we'll finish this later. Right? I didn't come, but I had a great time.
For sure.
Rick
had a great time. Rick with the dick.
My man.
Dude. What up?
Oh. Animated dick. What's up? Snap again. Get that off of you. Thank you.
So one thing I learned too is because I'm a pleaser by nature, so to accept.
You like hip hop?
Yeah.
You listen to Pleaser by Nature?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
So basically what that informed me is that I need to like accept the pleasure and be okay with that instead of wanting to just constantly give the pleasure. And I think that and there you can accept it, you can be present, and then in the moment when you feel that urge of like, okay, now it's time to give, then you give.
Do you mind I wasn't gonna say no homo, but a little bit of homo, a lot of homo. If I offer some perspective?
Yes.
It makes you feel good to pleasure somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't take that away from the other person.
Exactly.
Because also, she's going to get off by you liking it. She's going to feel valuable. She's going to feel pretty. She's going to feel good at what she does. And yeah, it's going to maybe help her with some of her insecurities that are not that sustainable. But at the end of the day, dude, she now is present with you.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to relax. Now it's starting to get wet.
How long did it take you to get comfortable with expressing your pleasure while someone's doing stuff for you?
Give me an example.
Like you being like, oh wow, that feels good.
Since I was a little girl, I've always been able to say it feels good.
That's fucking incredible, man. To have that kind of comfort.
To get like tickles from like it feels so good.
Yeah, especially on the back of the neck. It's the only thing that truly relaxes me.
More than toes?
When they're doing it to me. But I don't mind a little toe action on myself.
You're a toe guy.
But I'm not pushing anyone towards it. That's
I'm not
something they got to
force toes, but you are a foot guy.
If a girl goes there, I'm excited. More that she did it. More that she went there.
Do you feel it's necessary for your feet to be clean before she goes there? And do you need her feet to be clean?
Absolutely not.
See, that's fucking wild to me.
I'll do it. I'll suck a toe after a run just so they know I'm the kind of guy who will do it. I don't mean I sound like a douche now. I'm being like braggy.
It's okay. I don't know if that's bragging. I think that's just you're just disgusting. But
I'm so high on my own supply, it's ridiculous.
I don't want to brag, but like I don't fucking eat dirty feet. I'm such a jerk. I feel like I'm just bragging. I'll just.
I know it's gross.
Will you munch a cunch?
Bragging.
Will you munch a cunch after a run?
Yeah, I think by cunch you mean Kunch. Yeah, I'll do that.
Would you munch a kunch?
I'll munch kunch
after
post
a run. You?
Oh yeah.
If I had to, it depends. I mean, listen, you don't have to shower right before it, but if you went for like a run, not for me.
That's
also,
cool.
I would be so embarrassed if a girl sucked my balls if I was dirty.
Right.
Me too. Me too.
Do you eat ass?
Bleep this? Yeah, I do. But pun wasn't intended. But
what was the pun?
Saying butt.
Oh, fuck yeah.
You know what's funny about desserts and butts? One has one T, one has two.
Oh.
Dessert. People like,
right,
or is it two
I'm
S's?
not smart.
It's two S's. Two S's, right? Yeah, desert is one S, dessert is two. You can remember that because desserts are big and you want a whole bunch of desserts, so you want more S's.
And then with butt, you want more butt.
You want more T's, unless you're accepting something. Accepting as in like, not an award, but like, accept when you're, having a coffee. But when you're having a coffee.
Nice.
So I'll eat a butt.
That's good.
You?
Yeah.
Do you like having your butt eaten?
No.
See, that's that Orange County mentality. I bet you like having your ass eaten. Right?
I mean, it's not like,
Would you rather have your ass eaten or your toe licked?
Depends on the person, but probably my butt licked.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't expect it. That's like
Nobody expects it.
That's like a once a year thing or something.
Have you ever had your ass eaten? No. I gotta tell you something. Listen, you know me. I'm a guy's guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how I read. Yeah.
But when you're just sitting there, right? And then she's like, do you mind if I suck your, I don't want to get like that. But if she asks.
No, that was pretty spot on. Yeah.
Thank you. And then she's right. And then she goes a little bit lower and then a little bit lower. All you have to do is like what a cat does when you want his back scratched. All you got to do is just like, not tell her to do it, but just let her know the door's unlocked. Lift up a little bit. Yeah.
You don't lift your legs up?
I mean, you can't, you could, but usually before you get your butt eaten, it's very, what's the word I'm looking for when like you're expecting of something? Not entitled, but it's very, like presumptuous.
Yeah.
To like, go like this. Because then like, what the fuck? You gotta like, you have to just.
Well, I've tried that before. To.
Or if you get on all fours and flip around, she's like, hey, I'm going to go down on you. And you just get on all fours.
It's weird that getting your ass eaten
offer up your ass
is so like taboo, or pun intended, taboo, because like,
I think Foucault said in sex he wants to turn the whole body into one sexual organ.
That seems limiting to me.
But I heard he couldn't fuck all that good.
Oh, I don't like to speak negatively to other people.
So are you saying when they approach the gooch, don't lift your legs up? Just sort of,
Whatever you want. I'm just saying the subtle version, especially if you're new to it.
Well, what if...
So if you get on all fours and say, please, mama, is that subtle, or do you think that's a bit too on the nose?
I don't have that kind of kink where I refer to someone I'm with as a mama.
I could see you doing that.
I believe you. I'm just telling you that's not the thing for me.
You call him daddy?
No.
Have you tried it?
It does. I mean, I don't, there's things I don't need to try.
Are your parents not hot?
I disassociate that. I don't mind. I mean, there have been girls that have called me daddy, and it doesn't.
Like your kids?
No. Girls I'm hooking up with.
Oh, sweet.
And it's like, cool. That's cool. I like it because they like want to do that, but it's not like I'm like, call me daddy.
If a girl offers to go down on you, have you ever gotten on all fours and say, I like to have it sucked from the back?
No, but I have been flirting with girls and let them know beforehand, kind of like setting the expectations. It's okay if you like you could play with my butt. I would like if you played with my butt.
You know, I've tried the finger in the butt, but I'm so ticklish I start laughing.
Well, also, is it ticklish or are you just a little embarrassed?
Maybe I'm a little tight. Yeah.
Pun not intended.
Pun intended.
Do you like sports?
I love sports.
Do you play basketball?
Yes.
My jump shot sucks. Psych, that's like saying I ain't got $1 million. I got $1 million. I got $1 million nuts, got $1 million gives a fuck. You ain't passed the ball enough, eat my butt. You ain't checked the ball out, eat my butt. You shoot from too far, eat my butt. But you make it every time, no shit, slut, I'm the fucking man.
That's cool. What position?
Well, it depends on really who I need to be guarding and who's guarding me. I like to be a small forward, but backcourt. I like to play behind the three. I'm a slasher. I like to get to the hoop.
So you're cutting off ball and just hoping to catch it on the way in?
I'm sorry. What?
Like, are you talking about like you're cutting a lot?
I cut. I move a lot off the ball. I find that I'm very attracted, not physically attracted, maybe, but like the type of person I want to like be, not only play basketball with, but probably be friends with when you watch people on offense without the ball moving.
It's really like pleasing to the eye, and there's something harmonious about it.
It also shows that this person doesn't just do it for the credit. This person works. Like this person is, he's a collaborator. As opposed to like, I have the ball, so I have the adrenaline, let me score. No, you don't have the ball right now, and you're trying to get out of the way or set up your teammates or get open. Like you work for it. I think it's a certain type of person that like, I'm the type of person that sets up the equipment poorly sometimes, will edit it, will produce it, look for people that want to build this thing with me, right? That translates on the court too. I'm moving off the ball. I'm getting dirty. I like that. Yeah. No, I like collaborators.
I'm the same way.
I love that.
But I'm also not that good of a ball handler, so I'm just trying to be a value add to the team. So I'm like, if I can clear out the lane a little bit and give this guy who can slash like space to do that, then that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with knowing what you have to offer. There's some, Mark Twain says, and I'm paraphrasing, it isn't those that are wrong that is the problem. It's those that know they're right when it just ain't so, or something like that. And it's like, know what you could do and do it great. And then, when it's appropriate, try out the new material, figure it out, see where you could develop stuff.
Take like a pull-up three just once a game, just to let people know you're open to it.
So it seems like a pull-up three for you is the equivalent of getting your ass eaten. It just happens sometimes.
Yeah, I'm probably more comfortable with the latter, but yeah.
That's cool that you did that, because earlier you talked about the former and now the latter, and it shows that you know both.
I'm not beholden to either.
That's good.
I'm fluid.
That's really good.
The facts change, so does my opinion. What about you, sir?
Well, the facts don't change, but your understanding of them may, and the data that allows them to. But there are things. Listen, I mean, to become a theory, so much has to be put in, and
not anymore.
A true theory, yes.
For sure.
E will always equal MC squared in the physics that currently exist on this planet.
Is that true? Or is it just as we currently understand it? There's no world where like we could find a new understanding that
could be disproven, but it is also theory. Right now, it has yet to be disproven.
To the best of our knowledge, this is true.
So to assume that things are never true opens a door to just... it's just too hard to police.
It's too relative, yeah.
So you have to just accept things as fact when they are facts, right? Whether or not you wear a mask and how the vaccine works, those aren't proven facts. Those are the most relevant science that data proves today, right? There are certain things that are fact, and those things should be taken as such. For example, busting a nut creates life. Not always. But like, there's a reason it feels so good.
And who's fighting against that?
Fucking cancel culture.
Fuck.
They're fighting against busting a nut?
Yeah, literally and metaphorically. Listen, you come in here and you want to talk about blah, blah, blah. Fuck that dude. It's like, hey man, listen. Now there are some creepers, bleepers, and deepers out there. But I'm just talking about your average, everyday person, right? Who is scared to say, oh, could I say, Chris, what do I have to, I don't want to say Indian style, which is appropriate to recognize that. But what I'm saying is even to ask the question, if you have a guest that is very prevalent in the Native American history and culture and is a voice for, not for everybody, but for that community that you could learn from, and you're too scared to ask it, just bust your nut, dude.
Yeah, I guess I just find there to be like joy and humor in like the subtle adherence to it, or in the adherence to it with like a subtle commentary on it.
I don't know what you mean.
You don't?
Mm-mm.
Like what I'm saying is like by me saying that, I'm kind of suggesting that I know there's a line there, and I'm just like kind of gently dancing on it.
Actually, it used to be called the Dutch line, but you can't say that anymore.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm respectful of that difference now.
What's your favorite racist joke?
Oh man. I have it in my head, but I'm not going to say it.
Mine is, well, I actually can't say it because Comedy Central will flag it, but I have it up on a YouTube video. It's called My Old Racist Joke. And
my favorite racist joke is one that I made too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
But you can't do it?
No.
Oh, I could do mine.
Hit it, baby.
Well, I have a video, so we'll just put the link in the description. Link will be in the description. I'll maybe put the little thing with the eye, but also at the end when there's recommended videos, that'll be one of the 3.
It's hilarious because we're not going to hear it, so it'd be really funny if the video was like way over the line and it was just you ripping like.
Oh no, it's brilliant.
Okay, so you think it's okay for us to support it without having seen it?
I don't think you should do that because you haven't seen it, and you shouldn't put your stamp on something because you should create value to your recommendations. That being said, I could confidently say it's brilliant and relevant.
In the spirit of our new friendship and in me trusting your artistic sensibility, I'm going to put my stamp on it before I see it.
Great. Well, I'm going to put up a new video now. Bring us both down. No, I'm just kidding.
Is that Groban?
It's Delta Airlines.
Are you flying?
Yeah. I mean, to
they
work
canceled
out.
your flight because
to get my arms tired. I see you were with another agent. Please give me a moment. That's okay. I'll be with you within the hour or sooner. So basically, I'm flying to Cleveland. My arms are going to be tired. And on the way, I like a custom meal. You know what? Listen, here it is. I like Asian vegetarian. I don't eat a lot of things. Asian vegetarian, I always eat. And you have to do it with enough notice. So I gave the notice. And then they were telling me, customer service was telling me, you have to do it within 24 hours. Within 24 hours? You can't do it within 24 hours. They need the notice. They're like, I'm telling you. I'm like, this flight is so expensive. And gas. And I'm like, I'm spending so much money on this ticket. I want to make sure, like, don't worry, Rick, you'll just let us know it's within 24 hours. Now the different person saying, no, you can't do it. They don't have them. I'm like, well, could you transfer me to somebody else? Because I've been told, and that's where this is.
So you have to let them know about what meal you want to get 24 hours in advance.
Normally, you need more than two. You have to give notice, notice.
I didn't even know they were serving meals on like Delta flights.
First class.
Oh, you dog.
Yeah, I travel first class.
And
almost exclusively at this point.
I'm like totally lost. So you're like telling Delta what you want to eat in first class for later?
So first class meals, I give you options. It's usually everything has cheese on it and or meat. So I eat meat sometimes, but I don't always want to, and not always on a plane, and I don't eat dairy. So you give them a notice, and there's almost all airlines have the standard thing. There's like vegetarian, there's no meat, there's no dairy, no peanuts, there's Asian vegetarian. There's like these different things. It's a common thing.
So you can request Asian vegetarian if like all the rest of the meals are like Italian, for example.
But you have to give enough notice.
So that's like the one Asian vegetarian meal that's on that plane.
It's always different, but Asian vegetarian, I don't know what defines it, but obviously there's no meat, and most Asian cuisine typically does not have any dairy. They don't work with dairy. So no meat, no dairy makes Homer something. Put up the meme. You like Stanley Kubrick, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
There's a Simpsons joke where they're making fun of The Shining, where Homer goes crazy, but he doesn't remember the line from the movie. So he goes, "No work, no play, make Homer something," and he just keeps repeating that. So maybe we'll put up a meme.
I don't know if there's a Kubrick film that I like genuinely enjoy watching though.
Just listening to?
Yeah, I think as an auditory experience, it's much more powerful.
AEIMMP.
He gets so much credit for his, style and shots and whatnot. But yeah, I just like to listen to.
Maybe people feel that way about my podcast. Pun intended?
No.
It was a good one.
Do you ever think maybe the brain is intending for it, but the consciousness just isn't aware of it?
I think sometimes. I also have this theory, hypothesis perhaps, that all jokes exist all the time. They're always there. And it's not that you came up with the joke as much as you found the joke in the air that moment you pulled it down.
Yeah, it's like passing through you. Like the spirit of jokes is just coming through the vessel.
Sure, but it's bigger than just me and my vessel. It's in this room. They're on another dimension. They all exist. If they were bricks and then you pull them down and you have the option of taking it if you're able to see it. And if you see it, you could choose to, I'll let that one go or take it. You could take it and give it. You could take it and put it aside that you never get to. You get to it later. And I think that's what the craft of stand-up is finding these bricks and building an act.
And even in sex, you could say it's not your boner, it's the spirit of boner passing through you, if you're present.
Perhaps. I don't know if I subscribe to that, but I respect it.
Are you saying, do you believe in like a muse? Are you saying it's like a muse dropping jokes in your
I do believe that muses exist. And so this goes viral. I'm going to do that thing where he goes, I'm in the mood some gems. Right? Yeah. So I just think that there's like, we're here for a period of time and then we're not anymore, right? And the information that we're able to learn from books, from anything that we could study from, now a digital encyclopedia, that allows us to build upon these things. But just because we don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And as they say in The Preacher's Wife, just because you can't see something doesn't mean it's not there. Talking about Denzel Washington, the angel. And then the mom goes, that's right. That's what we call faith.
So do you subscribe to that? I don't know if it's Aristotle or Plato, that all knowledge exists and it's our job to, or we're actually, all knowledge sort of exists objectively and it's our sort of duty to recall it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, depends on what your job is. I think as humankind, it is our duty to learn from our past and to grow and to evolve. But I don't subscribe to the idea that all knowledge exists. I think data and information exists. I think by definition, correct me if I'm wrong, the knowledge is being able to have that and categorize it and use it.
Right.
But like, you look at what the universe is made of, and a star starts creating iron, and then it explodes, and then it pours out into the universe and creates stardust, the other stars and planets, and life then forms from the movement in the water, and like now we're starting to understand it. Before we understood it, it still existed.
Right.
So it's just that we couldn't see it.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking about like with like children, the objective truth that like murder is evil, for example.
For a typical child's brain.
Yeah, but
some people will pull apart animals and not feel anything from it.
But I guess for a normal child's brain,
typical. It's important to say typical because we can't. What's normal?
Right. For a typical child's brain, they inherently know that murder is evil. They don't need to be taught that. So that there's the idea that sort of objective truth exists.
But you're talking about empathy. What you're defining as a truth could be said that way, but when somebody is able to feel something, you're talking instincts and empathy.
Yeah, that could be evolution.
Yeah, and there are some creatures that will be born and go eat another animal, and it's not from hate.
Right.
No, it's biological instinct.
Yeah, but they won't do that if it's not to feed or self-defense.
Right.
So they still have that built in, but it's evolution.
I guess animals with consciousness.
I see. I can't tell you that.
Self-awareness.
I think dogs have consciousness and self-awareness.
What made you think that?
I think that when something has a memory, it has to have a form of consciousness. And if a dog remembers a smell, a word, a person, a pattern, things it doesn't like, it's afraid. It's afraid of this because it had its trauma. It has to have a consciousness. It might not know how to articulate it.
I guess with dogs, we just think it's kind of reduced to like a pain reward system, right? That's why they have memory. It's just
maybe. I think, I don't know. I think dogs are really special.
I think they can read energies.
Oh, and look at whales. You know, look at elephants. These things are brilliant. Look at dolphins.
They are pretty smart.
They speak to each other.
Yeah, and like in Blackfish, when you find out that like different pods of whales have their own unique language that like...
I haven't seen that.
Oh,
Should I watch Blackfish?
It's a bummer, dude.
That's from Game of Thrones? Or is that the Blackwater? That's Blackwater.
Yeah, there's no whales in Game of Thrones, but that would have been pretty sick had they been in there.
Yeah.
Tyrion just riding a fucking orca.
Yeah.
Picture that.
That'd be sick.
It's fun.
So you're saying that different pods speak different languages?
Yeah, if I recall correctly, that's what they said.
Well, do you?
Yes.
There it is.
I like that you pushed me to say that.
I gave you the opportunity.
Well, I'm grateful to you for it.
Oh.
What'd you
Is
get?
it Josh?
Hello.
Al, I got a couple of guys on the podcast here. Their names are Chad and JT, and they're fans of Pacino, and I just wanted to introduce them.
All right.
Do you want to ask them any questions?
What was
Let me ask you guys a question first.
Okay.
What's your favorite movie? Al Pacino and non-Pacino.
Any Given Sunday is my favorite Pacino movie. Favorite non-Pacino movie, The Squid and the Whale.
All right. That's a movie about divorce.
I'm going to go with favorite Pacino, Dog Day Afternoon. Favorite non-Pacino.
Yeah, we shot that in the morning. But they still had the dogs. They were SAG. Hoo-ha.
Why do you say
It was a
hoo-ha?
SAG dog. We want to call it SAG Day Afternoon.
Al, why do you say hoo-ha all the time? Is that a play on the Marines' hurrah? Ho-ha.
Sorry,
Wait,
I stubbed my toe earlier. Just got a bunch of Vicodin.
hoo-ha. Hoo-ha. Wait, what did the Marines say?
Hoo-ah.
Hoo-ha, not hoo-ha.
No, but what did the
Hoo-ha is
Marines
what you
say?
at a comedy
Hoorah.
show.
Hoorah.
Hoo-ha is what you say. Hoo-ha is what you say when you watch Squid and the Whale and you're high on crystal meth.
Isn't it hoo-ha?
Hoo-ha is what you say when you fall off a roof into a hammock getting your dick sucked.
Could you do the thing from Scent of a Woman at the end?
Give me the gun, Charlie.
No. Yeah, well, the end, not the hotel, where he talks about using a flamethrower at the
Give me
place.
the gun, Charlie. I'll make sure that someday you don't play Christopher Robin in Batman.
Okay, that's Al Pacino. Thank you so much, Al.
Wait. You're out of order. This court's out of order. This vending machine's out of order. I'm gonna get out of here on that. That even made me laugh. That was a hoo-ha.
Al, is there anything you want to plug? Your website or anything?
I'd like to plug. I'm doing a one-man show.
What's it called?
About a guy who's down on his luck, but he finds a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow. Hoo-ha. It's called Rainbow. It's called Hoo-ha. We're working on the title. It's about a guy who works at a phone shop.
Thank you, Al. What's your website?
Hold on a second. I ain't done. If you cut me off, I swear to God, you'll be out of order too. Hoo-ha.
What's your website, Al?
www.dominoes.com.
All right, that's Al Pacino. Thank you so much for letting my friends meet you.
All right.
Thanks, Al.
That was cool.
To still have that energy at his age is incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he takes eugenics.
Whoa.
We'll cut to a commercial.
Wait, eugenics or nugenics?
What the fuck is
Well,
nugenics?
are you talking about the old one or the one that just came out?
That's his reference.
Yeah. No, you haven't seen the Frank Thomas?
No, I have. I know
Yeah.
what you're talking. But I thought that was for like copper something.
No, he's working out in the weight room, and there's two girls from the 70s. They go, "Oh my God, look at your fucking arms!" And he goes, "I'm 78." Oh, and they go, "Holy shit,
And
look at
his
your
guys come
fucking
up.
black body."
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, which is a lot. And then he goes, "Yeah, it's great. I'm taking Nugenics." And then
They go, "What the fuck is that?"
And then some guy comes out. He goes, "It helps your testosterone, ladies." And then Frank Thomas looks at the girls and then into the camera and goes, "And she'll like it too."
Ooh.
So it's not just for men to get their mojo back. It's also to be able to start, pumping away.
Yeah.
Well, so like I was.
Rick, has anyone ever given you the nickname Rick Ass Man?
Yeah.
Was there? Is that what you do when you get your ass eaten?
No, that's what I do when I have explosive diarrhea on my guests.
Oh, I've seen that. So poop's going to come out of your butt in the little clip?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does it hit our faces?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I'm not a big poop guy.
Well, few people are. You turned down Metamucil when we first walked in, so I could have told you that.
You offered him Metamucil?
And you're good with drinks, right?
Yeah, I'm rock solid. Thanks, man.
Metamucil?
What does that do?
Metamucil?
Mm-hmm.
It's a psyllium husk. It's fiber, helps you poop.
I'm good. I've been running pretty smooth.
We're back.
Yeah, I'm a poop guy.
So you offered him Metamucil?
And he turned it down.
Why? How come I didn't get the invitation?
You were in the bathroom, and it was kind of an organic because I didn't think about it. But would you like some Metamucil?
No.
I have them in pill form.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Speaking of pill form, I want to do a plug. I've been thinking about this. There's a sponsor that I had that I'm not working with them at the moment. They just did a trial. It's called Zips. We'll put up the lower third. I say this to say this is not me putting it. This is not an ad that they're paying for. This is me like really making a recommendation that I've been making to a ton of my friends recently. And I'm like, I got to talk about this again on the podcast, even if they're not doing an advertisement. So here's a free plug for them. Do you guys do CBD ever?
Not really.
Not really.
Yeah, I love weed. And I eat edibles all the time. I've tried some CBD stuff, and I feel it sometimes. I'm not like a CBD guy. But it was this brand, zips.com, zippz.com/TYSO. Use promo code TYSO. It'll still work. You take this test. You stress, anxiety, sleep, all the blah, 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 blah. I don't want to like make this like an ad, but I mean, it is. It's unbelievable. I was going through a hard time a little over a month ago, and I asked a friend of mine, because I couldn't get it in time for my doctor, for a Xanax, because the night before I couldn't sleep and I just needed to chill out. And I took a Xanax and she gave me a few. And then the next day, I just didn't want to keep taking Xanax. I also know that I was sad and Xanax sometimes could exacerbate depression. So I just took some of these pills that I had as a trial that I had before, but it was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Do you guys have anxiety ever?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it.
I mean, I could give you some to try for later if you want.
Of the CBD?
But I've just been telling my friends about this because, I took some to realize. I remember I was on the couch and I was like, are you ever not anxious? And you're like, what's wrong? I should be anxious right now. You ever get that way?
Yeah.
Right? It was one of those. I was like, wait. And then you kind of like look through your references of like, all right, what could I be anxious about? What do I still need to do?
Yeah.
You know, and I just felt good. And I remember, I took those things. It wasn't high. It was just calmed me down.
And so even when you went through that kind of neurotic spin looking for things to be anxious about, you just couldn't access it?
I didn't dig. I mean, that's just masochistic in a way. I did it for a second. And then as I was going through the catalog of things like my day, et cetera, I remembered, I took these pills and I just accepted it at that. And I was just, so I gave them to my friend who takes Xanax and she just uses these now. They're unbelievable. So like, I just wanted to tell people if you have anxiety, and also like, I don't know. I mean, don't replace this, there's things you got to fix in your life. I don't know. Like, this isn't financial information, but like, whoa, dude. So I've been giving them to some of my friends and talking about it a lot. So I just felt like I got to go back on the pod because even though I tried them and I liked it, I took it at a time where I didn't need it and I didn't realize how amazing these things were. And I'm going to give you some if you want to try.
I would love to.
It's for real. It's like, yeah, off the charts.
That sounds amazing.
And I'm going to do one more plug. They never did my podcast, but while we're talking about pills, IB Guard. Okay? IB Guard. Here, let me actually show you the box. I've been pushing these.
Is that
so thanks for your patience while I do it with you guys.
irritable bowel? Is that what the IB's for?
It's marketed for cramping, diarrhea, bloating, gas, bowel urgency, constipation. I take them for if you ever get heartburn or just a stomach ache. Like if you eat something and just any kind of stomach ache, it works within like 10 minutes. So I'll tell you the little story behind this, okay?
Can you throw it over here?
I make a great pasta, love pasta, and I love basil. And I load it up on basil. I'm talking you get the ones that are like a pound of basil. And I just ate so much pasta. The next day I had leftover pasta, but I was out of basil. I ate the pasta, got a bit of a stomach ache. And I said to myself, did I just eat too much pasta because I ate a whole bunch of pasta over the past 2 days? Or yesterday I had it with basil. So then I looked into it. Mint is a digestive, or not a digestive. It helps digest. Basil is part of the mint family. And I realized, wait a minute, I think basil makes me feel better. And that family. I was on set of my show as we see it, Amazon Prime, and I had a stomach ache. Somebody gave me that. It's just concentrated peppermint oil. And when I tell you it works in 10 minutes, it's magic. Magic. And also, if you burp a little bit, it tastes like peppermint.
That's nice.
Yeah, so I've also been turning a lot of people onto that. My dad sometimes takes heartburn medicine. I don't like him taking that anymore because that stuff's no good. It gets rid of your stomach acid. That's not what you want. And then the food sits on top, but that's not sustainable. He uses that now instead. Magic stuff.
And have you found people you're not related to also have similar experiences
I keep it on me. I give it to people. I have so many people when I talk about it, because I have some, I'll give them some, and I'll give you some if you guys want. Here, throw it over. And they're like, where is it? Where do you get it? I actually want to, and maybe I'll even send them this clip. I want to reach out to them and literally invest in the company. It's so magical.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a hell of an endorsement.
And also I get stomach aches. It works.
Really?
I woke up the other day. I don't know what happened. I just had a bad stomach ache. I had keep them by the side of my bed, and you go to the bathroom, but you go to the bathroom and you have to and then a little comes out, if at all, and then nothing's coming out, but you know you're not done, so you go back in bed and just wait until you could get back up again. What I do is I take it before I even go into the bathroom. Start that 10-minute clock. I know I'll be all right.
Interesting.
IB guard.
That's so nice to have somebody you can rely on with so much consistency.
Yeah, it's like a friend.
That's a good buddy.
And you don't have to.
Pun intended. BUTTY.
Oh.
I never intend on a pun.
Second base. What were you going to ask?
And you don't have to worry about becoming dependent on that stuff?
I mean, you could worry about anything. I don't live my life differently now that I know I have this to fix me.
Right.
I still try to eat well. Sometimes I eat, I try to be gluten-free. I eat gluten every now and then. And when I do, I have a digestive enzyme. Sometimes it might build up. If my stomach hurts, I treat this like, I use this if I need it, but I don't go I'll eat whatever I want because I have IB guard.
I like what you said there too about you can worry about anything. How do you discern what you should worry about?
Better understanding what you could control. And the things you can control, learning what it is that you do to be better, eating better, getting proper sleep, checking in with your body when you feel a certain way, noticing these patterns. I felt better when I had the basil. I don't feel great after I eat too many corn chips for some reason I've noticed recently.
Do you accept yourself when you're making personal choices that might have negative effects, that sometimes you're just going to make those choices?
Like what? Like eating, I'll eat a donut tonight.
Yeah, like overeating or something like that.
Yeah, I think you have to earn it. I think the simple way of doing it is you try to do it whatever your made up version is. I'll on the weekend I'll have a dessert more, But sometimes I want something and I take it. You know what I mean? That in anything.
You got to give yourself that freedom.
Yeah. As long as you trust that your choices have allowed you to not let these things get in the way of your life. I mean, dependencies on certain things. You can't have that drink. Or the cocaine.
Can't do it. What happened?
They're going.
Can I do an endorsement for my cocaine dealer? I don't see him anymore, but
I don't.
He's really reliable.
I don't know. Why don't you do it and we might bleep some stuff.
If you're in North Hollywood.
No, yeah, you could keep that in, but bleep out the name. Can't do it.
No, you're right.
Also,
I was being edgy. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. And I don't think what you did is bad. It's just not part of my brand and what I want to sell because I am not, other than weed, I do not like being around. I don't like being around people who are drinking, doing drugs.
Do you drink at all?
I'm not sober. Every now and then I'll have a light drink, but no. And if somebody has a drink, it's not a big deal, but it's such a turnoff to be around drunk or people that are high on coke or any of that shit. Just get the fuck away from me.
Right.
I like it.
I believe that. You're a party boy.
Yeah. And there's something about when you're around people on coke, they kind of get to my speed of how I want to communicate. But also it makes me feel better about where I'm at. It's almost like...
Cocaine makes you feel better or when people are on it?
When people are on it makes me feel better about my choice not to do it. And then I also feel like it's one of those moments where and this is kind of like, I guess, not the nicest reason to like it, but it makes me feel... I'm like, oh, I feel kind of state of the art. Like all these other people are going on tangents and they're not really making sense. And I'm in the pocket. I'm good.
Oh, so through association. See, that's a difficult place to be because but by design, you're literally comparing yourself to other people. And you could be, that practice put into other situations can make you feel bad, or could make you not see who you really are because you're comparing it.
It's true. I guess I've just kind of accepted that that's the roller coaster I like to be on.
Sure. Take that ride, baby.
I'm on it.
Yeah. When I'm next to somebody who's drunk or on coke, I'm not talking to that person. I'm just talking to some fucking guy.
Mm.
They're not going to remember all of this, if any of it. They're just repeating stuff. I'm hearing from their ego. Even the flattering stuff is not real. It's like you can't make plans with them. You can't do bits because they're in a way present, but on a different plane with like less oxygen and less colorful.
Did you ever have a period in time where you enjoyed drinking, enjoyed partying, all that stuff?
I love getting high.
You just love getting high?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, never.
Never?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I can't really drink anymore.
Because you go overboard?
I went overboard around college time. After college, I had trouble stopping, yeah. And now I'll have that, I'll have instances of that, but I can't handle the hangover.
How old are you guys?
31.
34.
Years?
Mm-hmm.
Right. We did a show together and I missed your set. And I just say that because I don't want to be, let me say everything else. You went up right before me. You're so funny.
Oh, thank you.
It was so good. And I bet yours is too, but I didn't want to say you're funny and you're not. I also didn't want to lie. And I didn't see your set. I got
didn't
there
have
late.
the best set that night, so I'm actually kind of stoked. Yeah.
I like you guys a lot. I didn't know you before you guys coming here. I mean, we talked online a little bit and seen you around. But I thought it was worth acknowledging that like I was laughing out loud. You're really, really funny,
thank you, man. Appreciate that.
And we haven't even said that you guys do stand up. And but on the couch you're hysterical. You got good arms.
Thanks.
You get your ass eaten and you're comfortable with it.
Dude, you're a beast. I'm happy to be here and
But I wanted to let people know, like, because we ended up coming in kind of just swinging in and out of real conversations, which is where I like to swim, and a great time. But didn't even say, in case people who are watching who don't know you guys are stand-up comics, and you each have your own podcast as well as one together. I thought you just had a podcast together.
Just one, yeah.
Yeah, then how come you said at the beginning you want to do yours or mine? Maybe I misunderstood that.
Oh, he was saying, should I intro your podcast or our own?
Gotcha. I thought you were talking about each other. Yeah. Chad and JT going deep or go deep?
Going deep with Chad and JT.
Going deep, GDWC and JT.
Yeah.
Is
there like a little like hook you want to tell people, like why they would want to check it out?
I think this question we're having about masculinity that was kind of the start of the podcast. I think a lot of our podcast is trying to thread that needle. So if that's something that you're
masculinity in general, or those type of topics,
those kind of topics, but also I think, I don't want to be too like highfalutin about it, but I think the masculinity.
Define highfalutin for me.
Like,
that's not a challenge. I don't know.
I think when you're making something sound like it's about bigger ideas than it's really about.
How is that different than hyperbolic?
I probably meant to say hyperbolic.
Let's put up highfalutin and hyperbolic next to each other. Let's give it a second. This guy, I want to give them time to read it.
Maybe highfalutin relates.
I don't want to be. I'm so sorry, but we got to be quiet.
Oh, we got the graphic going?
They're up.
My bad. Sorry, graphic. But yeah, I think. Come on, man. Back. I think the podcast is, if you want to hear some sensitive bros talk about things that bros are interested in, dive right in. You'll enjoy it.
And is there an episode that if people were to check out that you'd be like, check out this one first?
Our upcoming episode with you. We need you on, dude.
I'll do it. Where do you guys record?
WeHo. His place.
My apartment.
Yeah, let's do it. This will be out probably end of May, because I have a few backlogged at the moment because I'm going out of town. My arms are going to be tired.
What are you going out of town for?
I'm going to Cleveland. It's my hometown. And my buddy Eric Griffin is playing Hilarities. So I'm going to just go and feature.
Nice.
And when I come back, I'll do it. And then maybe we could do a thing where, I don't know how much of a turn on you have, but we could like have them come out on the same week.
1 week turnaround.
Nice. Maybe we could even like do a commercial like when we go and I do yours, we could do a commercial you could send me that we could throw into this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then we could do a commercial in this one to put on yours.
Yeah.
Here will be the commercial. You guys start off, say, hey, what's up, guys? It's Chad and JT. And we got, and we are special guest on, Rick on, and then you could throw it to me.
What's up, guys? I'm Chad.
I'm JT.
But also, this is going to be on your podcast, so they know you. So instead of it being like, hey, I'm Chad, I'm introducing, what's up, it's Chad. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's me.
Yeah.
But also, will you do, because your brand is very surfer, will you, and probably your audience knows that, will you lean into that, be like, whoa, Gnarlin' the Mellow. Oh, what's up? It's Chad. And I'm JT. I was just surfing.
Yeah.
And then throw it over.
Copy that. Can we have that intro in there included?
I think it's
No.
yeah. You do the surfer voice because
Yeah.
This is what I do. I know what I'm doing here.
no, I know, but I know how to be surfer, and so I'm not.
So do your version of surfer.
All right.
What's up, dudes? You probably noticed us.
I'm sorry, so sorry. You got to say though. What's up, dude? Surf's up. You have to say that. I'm sorry. And then they'll get it when they watch
Bro,
this. they'll
but
get
you're
it.
gonna throw some like poser lingo at us, and you're gonna get us.
Let me tell you something. This is great because it's important that you stop worrying about how people see you and just be present in the game we're playing right now.
I totally agree with you, but it's not. I'm not worried about how people see me. I just.
I don't know. It seems. What do you guys think? You guys think he's worried about people? Yeah.
I'm not, broadly, I am, but I have deep respect for the surfer energy, attitude, and expression.
Would you mind doing it?
Yeah, I'm being an asshole.
What's up, dude? Surf's up. Cowabunga.
Yeah, dude, I will do it.
Hey, that's cool. I'm going to give you $1,000.
For real?
Yeah, because you're being real nice about this stuff.
Can you give it to me on camera?
Yeah, what's your PayPal? All right, let's do it.
What's up, dudes? Surf's up. Hey, you probably noticed us on a different couch. Why is that, JT?
Because we're on Rick Glassman's couch doing his podcast. Take your shoes off.
What's up, everybody? Surf's up, harsh in the vibe.
He's a total chiller. He's super mellow. And we've had a really good time vibing with him. So if you want to see more of that, check out our pod.
The podcast is coming out on the same week, maybe we think. So head on over to Take Your Shoes Off podcast. We'll put a link in the description so you could check out this one where we talk about eating ass, sucking dick, fucking, eating pussy, licking titties,
Cowabunga,
politics,
philosophy,
philosophers, and just munching cunch and just chill, all out chilling, staying on the brown.
And IB guard.
So head on over and check it out and enjoy the rest of this episode with me as a guest on Going Deep with Chad and JT.
That was perfect.
Great. I'll send you that. You'll throw that in.
Absolutely.
And then we'll do one on yours and we'll put it in mine.
Fuck yeah.
This is fucking Marvel meets, other people in Marvel. You guys like superheroes?
This is like Thor meets Iron Man. Yeah.
You're Iron Man because of the facial hair. I'm Wolverine, dude. In fact, I do for my merch, and by the time this comes out, our 4th card will have just dropped with Eric Griffin. But I do merch of previous guests we're making. Shout out to Scott Hepburn, by the way. We'll put some pictures up on the screen so you could see him. Trading cards in the Marvel or in different universes.
Wow, look at Mark Maron.
Yeah, he's Iron Man there.
Oh,
Aren't those cool?
You had Blake Griffin. That's dope.
Yeah.
Who else is in there?
Rick and Goblin. Who's Goblin?
Who's Goblin?
He's my mascot, but he's the Hulk, and I'm Wolverine there.
You look jacked, bro.
Thanks, man.
What attracts you to Wolverine?
Well, a couple of things. I will say that I didn't get chest hair until like right after high school. And then it just came big time. And I was really insecure about it. I was dating a girl. Now I sound like I'm bragging. I was dating a girl and she lived on a floor with guys. So when I went to her dorm, I went and I showered and then I walked back to her floor and I was just a towel around my waist. And she goes, "You have so much chest hair. You should just hurry up, get in the room." And it like fucked me up. It made me so embarrassed. And for a long time, I was really insecure about my chest hair until I saw Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. And I thought, I have that. Not all of that, but like, oh, that's okay. And he made me feel better about myself. So I was really attracted to specifically Hugh Jackman as Wolverine at first. But also I'm a collector, and every time I would book get a new season of a TV show, I would buy something. And one of the first things I bought was Hulk 181, first full appearance of Wolverine. And I had it up on my wall for a while, and it's just like really cool. And that's that because it's Hulk and Wolverine. That's why I made that first card of me as Wolf and Goblin as Hulk. And as a collector, now I'm just like, I'm into the world. You know.
Isn't it crazy that like one moment in like culture
that song?
No.
Oh.
What song is that?
One moment in time.
Dude, you can sing.
Whoa, 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 whoa. It's the same into something. I don't know. Remember how it all goes.
That was good.
Thank you.
But like one moment in like film can like shift like the sexual paradigm of like what's hot and what's not.
Maybe this podcast could have done that.
That'd be huge.
Do you remember hotornot.com? Were you guys ever on that?
Oh,
I was terrified.
What was that again?
It was a website.
It was a ranking system?
Yeah, it was just hot or not. And like you vote from like 0 to 10.
Right.
And you put a picture of yourself up, usually because this was like at a time where at least, I don't know, like the early 2000s. So I was, late teenager, early 20s. And when you're younger, you think you look best when you do pictures like this. You bite down, you get the jaw, you're serious. So there's a lot of pictures of guys just like, with two polo collars going like this.
You submit yourself?
You submit yourself. And then you, when you go on, you could go guys or girls. So guys would go to girls usually, and girls oftentimes would go to guys, and they just rank you. And then you could see collectively what your ranking was.
That sounds brutal.
It's fucking nuts. Yeah. I think Mark Zuckerberg did something like that. At least they did it
right.
in Social Network,
Social Network,
which I would put in one of the, not my favorite necessarily, but in the category of what makes a perfect movie. To me, that is one of them.
For sure. I mean, in that first 10 minutes, you just get so locked into it. When the music comes in and they do like the montage of like the different clubs doing their initiations, you're like, it's kind of hypnotic.
Yeah, man. Fucking, I've always wanted to get into the Phoenix. Always.
It's elite company.
Yeah.
And you're with the real movers and shakers of what's going to, drive the direction of the country.
The what tree?
The cunt. Dude.
Pun intended.
Yeah, man. Do you feel like, I don't know how well you know this podcast, but do you feel like Take Your Shoes Off is kind of like the Phoenix of comedy podcasts now, where it's not like the biggest, but it is an exclusive group, and like just by being associated with it could get you like.
I'd say this is the Phoenix, and Going Deep is Skull and Bones.
I didn't initially have that feeling, but after seeing your cards, I was like, "Whoa, we're in some pretty like esteemed company."
The guests on this podcast are insane. A-list.
Fuck yeah, man! I'm happy to be
and
in that.
And some B-list, and some C-list, and some family. And then you guys. No, I'm busting balls. Dude,
bro, you came out as hard there, dude, but I love it.
I was fucking with you. Yeah. No, this is nice. Anything else?
No.
I have a question. You have anxiety, right?
You could say that.
When it comes to weed, is there a specific type of weed? Because I'm getting a little bit more interested in diving, because I never really vibed with weed.
Mm-hmm.
Anxiety would just go through the roof.
Right. That happens to some people.
Yeah. But I'm thinking maybe, I haven't really done it since college, but I'm thinking maybe it's just because I was getting the wrong weed. Maybe I was getting too like sativa, or because I kind of want to be like, I want to experiment a little bit and just see if maybe I just need indica. Like what's your sort of preferred type?
I talk about it on the pod all the time. They're my favorite. I'll show you. Kiva. You can show the camera if you want.
Kiva brand chocolates. They also do gummies and stuff, but chocolates are my favorite.
Kiva.
Each piece is 5 milligrams. You know exactly what you're getting yourself into. Though I eat edibles often, I'm a lightweight with any coffee, weed, drinking, very much so. So I take a very small amount, which is a half a piece, 2.5 milligrams. Or if I want to get stoned, I'll take 1 piece. Right. That gets me real stoned. What I'm saying, I say that to you because I've given this to people who smoke all the time. I've given it to people who've never done it. You're safe by doing 2.5 milligrams, half a piece. Wait at least 45 minutes because it takes a bit to kick in.
Yeah.
And then if you feel a little bit, it'll still keep going up. So your first time, just do 2.5.
Right.
You'll be, you might not feel anything because it depends how we metabolize stuff. If that's the case, next time try 5 milligrams. Yeah. But that's my favorite high, and it's consistent. It's also a hybrid. I don't get anxious from it. In fact, it calms my anxiety down.
Right.
So we're different people, but I would say try. And also, if you're up for it, I love getting stoned on a podcast. I'll get high with you guys if you want to just try 2.5 milligrams, unless you're worried how you might behave.
I think I would. I'm not worried about how I behave. I think I'd have to experiment with it a little bit before doing it on a podcast.
Well, I'll give you some CBD pills. I'll give you a little Kiva chocolate, and I'll give you some too if you want. I don't know if you do that.
I smoke weed, but I stay away from edibles. But just in the spirit of this newfound,
You stay away because of you've had bad experience?
yeah, I just can't. I just like being able to like control a little bit more how much.
Have you had edibles that are homemade, or have you ever had like properly dosed?
Both.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
yeah, I guess maybe I've just had too many experiences where I overdid it. So
Right.
I tend to stay with just the.
Well, let's not even give you any. Give you that opportunity.
No, but I like to smoke it.
Yeah, I love to smoke, but it hurts my throat, so I haven't smoked in years.
Yeah, probably healthier just to ingest
Yeah,
it.
but man, there's something so cool about smoke. I just love smoking.
But that'd be fun on the pod to be baked.
Yeah, I
with
like to
you.
get stoned. It gets wild, like weird, in a very fun way. I love being high, but just want to like setting the expectation here. If you're having me over and it's going to be your show, I might get very goofy.
Cool.
Great.
That sounds like a singular kind of moment that would be fun to capture.
Okay.
So I'm fucking pumped on it.
Fuck
dog.
yeah, dude. Well, this is cool, guys.
This was great, man.
I had Bobby Lee over a while ago. The last time he was on, I think, was last summer, and I think he just had done yours. Does that sound right? Did he do yours like maybe 8 months ago or so?
July, yeah.
And he brought you guys up to me. He's like, you should do their podcast. You guys would vibe really well. And we've been trying to do this for a while. For whatever reason, it just hasn't happened. Neither one of us have tried that hard, I guess. But like, I just wanted to say that like you guys came recommended from him.
Oh, thank you.
That we would vibe really well, and this was fun for me.
It's fun.
This was a fun episode, and I don't know if we were all in the same energy and it still worked. Does that make sense?
Totally.
There were times when I was lost, and there was times when I was really connected, but it was all fun.
Well, I'll take responsibility for when the stuff was lost. We came in hot from the beginning. We didn't get to know each other yet.
I felt
I meant lost in like a good way, where I was just like
like the show.
The conversation was so
First
kind of high
couple seasons.
concept, where I was sort of just trying to catch up, I guess.
Like kind of riding the wave.
I felt like I was
Yeah.
hanging onto the wing of like a blue angel.
Yeah.
Oh, do that again? We'll make a little blue angel. Okay. Well, I guess as they say in showbiz, that's scoot do. Oh, Instagram handles?
Chad goes deep.
JT Parr 14.
And together we are, say those again at the same time. Say Chad goes deep into 14.
Chad goes
JT
deep.
Parr 14.
Theme music.
Blabbity blue. Scoop dee. Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure. That's a good one.
Nice. I'll tag you guys.